Hello, welcome back to Carpet Cogs. We're here today to Killingworth Lake. As you probably guessed, yes, I'm alone. Wait, I say I'm alone. Well, I've got Liam behind the camera there, videoing for us today. And we are targeting carp. Obviously with the weather warming up, the carp are starting to respond better. I've been here since, what time is it now? So I've been here since about 10:30. Got my rod straight out. Got the bivvy up, which was a bit of a nightmare, as you'll see. I'll play that video after this. But yeah, we've got a westerly wind blowing it around 18-19 mile an hour. Which I think the fish might be down the bottom end. But hey ho, I'm not walking all the way down there just to blank. I'll stick middle of the lake where I've got an even chance, 50-50 chance of pulling one out. So the bait, the tactics I'm using today, I'm using Ronnie rigs. As you mightn't know, I'll get a video up of how to tie your Ronnie rig. And I'll show you how I tie mine. But the bait I'm using today is, if I can find my bag, right, the bag's there, get it open. Where are they? So the bait I'm using today is Nash Citrus pop-ups in pink. I've heard a lot about them. They're hard to get hold of. Luckily I got hold of some. I'm using the 15 millers. And I've obviously sprayed them with a bait spray to give that bit more flavour in the water. And hopefully the fish should home in on it. Other pop-ups that I like to use, I've got some dumbbells. I've soaked them in some citrus goo, so when it starts to warm up, the water temperature from about June onwards, the goo will leak off and it'll create this trail in the water which should attract the fish. I've got some normal fluoro pop-ups, 15 millers, pineapple and banana. Last season on here they did extremely well. I did a 48-hour session, it resulted in 16 fish, all on banana and pineapple. No one told you that secret. What else have we got? Got some more. Yeah, we've got some more banana and pineapple fluoros, but they're soaked in the pineapple corda goo, the bait smoke. Again, absolutely lethal in the summer on here. Never fail. And then we move on to, we've got obviously me baiting devices. So I've got TFG air bomb. So the way this works, you obviously clip it up. So you'd clip your line onto that ring there, and then you'd pull, so to open it, you'd pull the back, and it's meant to open, there we go, it opens like so, and then you pull it to shut. When it's clipped to your line, pull it down, and there's a little hook on your air bomb, and that just hooks onto there, and when you cast and you hit the line clip, that'll shoot off, that'll shoot down, and the idea is it opens like that and it scatters your bait. It's absolutely perfect for when you don't want to scare spooky fish that are already on your spot. Or you can use a normal spom, which I do use as well, which is also alright.
What got you into carp fishing?
So the thing that got me into carp fishing was, whereas, you know, I used to match fish years ago for a club as a junior and used to fish here quite a bit. About 4 or 5 years ago I fished here competition, part of the Tyne Anglers Alliance for the trophy. That's a funny story, to be honest with you. So everyone was on here fishing, got here at 8 o'clock, started at 10, and everyone was pulling fish out one after the other, and there was me just like, what am I doing wrong? Can't get a fish. I had a box of worms, had a tub of maggots. And I got so wound up with myself, I was basically packing up to go home, but I was like, nah, this ain't happening in the daylight. So I'd chuck me maggots in the water, chuck me worms in with 2 maggots on my hook still, and the float just started slowly going under. And I was like, strange, so I just struck into it. I had a 7-pound bream, about that. That was alright. But then I just chucked it back out again while I was finished packing away. The float went under slowly again, which resulted in a 12-pound 10-ounce bream, which I'll show you the picture after. But yeah, that's how me fishing started. But then last June I came down match fishing. Oh, that's my alarm going. So last June I came down match fishing, and just a normal day match fishing. I was in a couple of pegs down that way, and I could see the carp, they were in my swim, but I wasn't targeting them. I'm very light gear as well. If I hooked them, it wouldn't be easy to land. And I hooked 5 carp, got snapped off on all of them, and from that day I decided, you know what, I need carp gear. If I'm going to get a big fish out here, I need some carp gear. So I went out, bought my carp gear, and then the summer, that's where it started. And I started doing nights, and that's where my passion for carp fishing's come along.
Right, so it seems like that you're quite passionate about it all. I'd say on an average day, let's say like 9 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon at this lake, what would you say your average like fish capture is? Like how many fish would you say you capture?
So again, with this type of lake, it is a nighttime water. You're lucky if you get a carp out during the day. I've only ever had 3 carp during the day out here, and that's in the summer. So what I tend to do is I normally set up the lure rod and spin for perch during the day when I'm waiting for the carp, and later on in the evening is a prime time for the perch. Or if I set up a float rod, I can pull out roach. This peg I'm on, the match anglers absolutely love it. It's perfect for the coarse fish, but if there's a carp lad on like me, they're not getting on. No way. I won't allow it.
That's fair enough. For someone who isn't interested in fishing as much, what would you say to them to try and get them interested?
What would I say? I'd take them out. I'd introduce them slowly to it. I wouldn't introduce them straight into the nights, because if you're not interested in it as much and you're doing a night, you're out all night, sometimes it can be raining and cold, especially in the winter, and it's not the ideal place to be if you're not interested. But if you're like me, who's interested, you'll sift through it just to get that perfect winter picture with a carp. But as you were saying, what I'd say come along, even if it's just for a few hours, get a rod in the water, or I'll hand them a lure rod or a float rod and just get them to sit there with a float or spin just for the smaller bits first before you start going for the bigger species.
Obviously for like competitions and that, do you enjoy doing the carp competitions and fishing competitions and stuff?
So with carp competitions, I don't fish carp competitions, as I'm not really a match angler anymore. I don't fish matches as pleasure fish. Like, I'm willing to, if me and my pals are down fishing, we'll have a little match between us, see who can get the most, see who can get the biggest. But even then, when you're going on a blanking spree, like I've blanked since October. I've had the odd few run here and there, but maybe me, I'm lazy, I'll miss it, especially through the night, which isn't good. But if it's peeing down for rain and you really don't want to get wet and it's freezing, you don't want to go out on that.
Do you prefer night fishing or day fishing?
That's a tough one. If this lake was a daytime water, then I'd prefer that. But with it being a night water, I like that too, because you get your freedom. It's relaxing. Not many people around on a night time, so there's not many people distracting you and disturbing you.
What would you say is the best fishing place to fish? Like, do you enjoy Killingworth quite a lot, or would you say this place is better?
Yeah, I enjoy Killingworth Lake because obviously there's some big fish in here. There's fish that haven't been caught in here before. Whereas I've got access to big waters, which has got carp in. It hasn't got many in due to the otters, but so it is hard to catch a carp on there. But when you get one, it's worth it in the end on there. You've got Distant Pond. It's where all the match anglers go. It's full of silvers. It has got a big ghostie in there. It's got a few other carp in there, but really, really hard to get out.
What would you say is one of the biggest fish you've ever caught is?
So my current personal best is a common carp of 18 pound, which I'll put up a picture up there somewhere or down there, or I might just put it on the big page. So people that know, some people that know me already have seen that, and it's a lump, and it's beautiful fish, which fell to a banana and pineapple pop up.
Do you need a license to fish this lake or any other lakes?
So yeah, for this lake, obviously this is my membership book here, Big Waters Angling. Also the other clubs that have got this lake, Wacker one's back in Cramton Angling Club, and you've got the Tyne Anglers Alliance. Get membership with any of them, you've got access to this lake. Obviously license, yes, I've got my rod license, but also on fishing this lake you can purchase your day tickets for £4 I believe on the bank by the bailiff, or you can go to the sports centre, or if you want to save a bit of money, which is a bargain and a half, you can pay, I think it's £15, £25 for the year to fish here.
What bait do you use, or what bait would you say is best?
So currently on here, the go-to bait, I've never changed it once. It is the banana and pineapple fluoro pop-ups by Dynamite. It has been my go-to bait quite a lot, but recently I'm on a 4-month blanking spree now. Obviously with being cold out, it is harder. So you've got your dumbbells there. Smells absolutely gorgeous. The fish absolutely love them in here. But the bait I'm trying today is Nash Citrus. It is a hard bait to get hold of, Nash Citrus stuff. I've managed to get some, so I am trying them, and if you have a look, they are a pink in colour. Which is quite a good colour for fish, especially carp, because it's a visual bait. They'll see it and they'll be like, oh, what's that? And they'll come, investigate, pick it up, and hopefully not spit it back out.
Would you say you'd need loads of equipment to fish this type of lake, or would it like standard rod and stuff?
It depends how many rods you want to fish with. If you want to just fish with one carp rod, you've got one chance of catching a fish through the night or during the day. If you've got 2 rods like I have, you've got 2 chances you could catch one. Or you can fish 3 rods, which most anglers, carp lads do, which I will be once I've sold those rods to get me new rods. I'll be fishing a 3 rod setup, and I've got 3 chances of catching. But when it comes to gear, it can range. Like for this bivvy, they go at about £160 brand new, you know, but they're very hard to get hold of because they're not in stock anywhere. I am getting a new bivvy. I'm getting the Advanta Protector Peak 2 man version 2. So it's a bigger bivvy, get 2 bed chairs in. Obviously with this one, bed chair goes along the back. With this next one I'm getting, they go down the sides, or you can put it along the back and you've got loads of space for gear. Obviously with it being a day session, I travel light as possible. When I'm night fishing, doing multiple days at once, I do travel quite heavy because I obviously eat on the bank, sleep on the bank. So it can be expensive, whereas you could, like alarms, my alarms I use, which I'll show you later on, I use ND tackle, S9s. So these alarms, actually I'll show you now, I think I've got a spare one with this. So these alarms here, they're tiny, absolutely tiny. Tiny little things, but they're perfect. You can change your sensitivity, your tone, your volume on them. And they come with a receiver, which picks up. So say you're fishing for the night, you're fast asleep. As you've probably just heard there, that's just gone off, but I'll show you anyway. So if I turn this alarm on, it picks up when a fish takes. So I've got the sensitivity maxed on here. So it does pick up quite well. My other alarm's going off there again. These cost me £120 brand new on Amazon for the 3 plus receiver. You can get cheaper alarms. I've had Core and KBIs. They go about £50–60 brand new. Come with a receiver, but they're extremely loud. And I'm the type of person that when I'm out fishing on night time, once I'm asleep, I'm asleep. Nothing can wake me. The alarms can be on full blast. This can be hanging next to me, yeah, full blast, and I just won't budge. Which can be a nightmare at times, especially when you get that dream fish.
Would you say you'd be a good fishing teacher or fishing coach, like for someone who does want to get into it? Do you think you could teach them quite well so they get up to your skill in like a year or two?
Yeah. Obviously the purpose of this channel, Carpet Cogs, is for the newbies out there and people who are into carp fishing, who carp fish all the time, might need to know a few more tips. That's what our service is for, which I'll also go on to some other stuff that we're providing later on. But yeah, anyone who's willing to learn, I'll happily teach. If you're not willing to learn, you come down, you start messing around, I'll just ask you to leave.
Obviously when you first started fishing many years ago, did you ever think you would like be this good and like create so much progress in such a time?
Well, obviously I started fishing 8 years ago, 7 years ago, you know. So I've still got loads to learn. Absolutely tons to learn. You learn new things every day on the bank. And it's not something you're going to be a master at. No one's a master in fishing. Like I said, you learn new things every day, so all these wannabes who say that they know everything, I can guarantee they don't know everything.
What would you say is one of the most like useful fishing equipment that you have?
The most useful thing I've got for carp fishing would be my alarms. So if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know when I've got a fish.
Would you say, how much would you say like some bivvies off, someone wanted to like night fish and they wanted to get like somewhere cheap, like where would they go and like how much do you think they would cost?
Your best bet, if you want a night fish and you're on a budget, best bet is look on a Facebook marketplace, eBay. You can get some absolute cracking deals on there. Like there was a bivvy I was looking at, obviously Angling Direct sold out, brand new, which is the one I was on about before, the Advantage Protector 2-man bivvy. That sold out, so I had a look online. Seen one that comes with the overwrap as well, £140. When these bivvies brand new sell at 180, and then the overwrap's another 80 quid on top. But now they've got them back in, I'm just going to get it brand new because I've got the money to spend. But you have got other bivvies like the Nash Base Camp, that goes at about £900, £999 brand new. You got the Ridge Monkey XF1, XF2, and then you've got the XF1 Compact and XF2 Compact. Again, £700–800, which I think is an absolute joke for a bivvy, but there's some lads out there that want that extra luxury and they will do it.
So the Facebook page Carpet Cogs, how successful do you think it may be by possibly the end of the year? If you put some like...
So we are looking at expanding up and down the country, but we don't want to put the money and effort in if we're not going to get anything back from it. Like we have currently, as you may have seen, you may not have seen, we've got the mock-up of the snuds, which are especially useful for winter fishing. It's got our logo on. We will be retailing them, depending on the bulk, or we need to have a think about it, but I think we're going roughly £12 we'll be selling them for, and then it means we can make our profit as well, because we've got to contact the distributors, suppliers, and get them made to order, so it's not going to be cheap for us. But if we can sell them, that's where we're going to start at, and then maybe further next year, or depending on how it does the next few months, we'll start by introducing t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, and hopefully get them on the roll.
For obviously a beginner, let's say like night fishing, assuming it's going to be quite cold, what would you suggest a beginner would bring or wear to keep himself warm?
So you'd want your bed chair. You can get sleep systems, which is basically like a sleeping bag built onto your chair, bed chair, and stuff like that. They're very expensive. I haven't got one. I've just got a standard bed chair. I take my sleeping bag, take my pillow, take my duvet. That's all I use in the winter, especially the winter. And wrap up is all I can say. Like, even in the summer, sometimes it can be really like cool in the night time. Bring the layers, because if you haven't got them layers, you're gonna get cold. It's better having the layers, for especially winter. If you get too hot, you can just take them off, and then when you get cold, put them back on. Or some people like to use gas heaters, which I wouldn't recommend in your bivvy, especially at night time, because if you fall asleep with that on, you could result in carbon monoxide poisoning, which wouldn't be pretty. Or hot water bottle. If you've got your stove, you can boil your water in the kettle, put it in a hot water bottle, and you're sorted for the night.
On an average, obviously 7 day, how many days a week would you suggest someone like a beginnerish would go fishing?
It's all personal preference. If you want to go out 3 days a week, 4 days a week, do it. Because the more time you're on the bank, the more experience you're coming. Yes, you're not going to become the best straight away, but you will get there eventually. Obviously with me, I aim to get out twice, maybe 3 times a week. Sometimes I can only go once a week. In the summer especially, I'll be out twice, 3 times a week.
Obviously the name of your Facebook page being Carpy Cogs, and loves your Instagram as well. One of your Instagram accounts being Carpy Cogs. Was that like, what's the meaning behind the name, and was it the first name that you suggested, or had you thought of names before that thought, nah, it doesn't sound right?
So the way we came across the name was, it was me and another team member, Keen. He'd rang us one night and he was like, I'm sat here watching these videos on YouTube. Well, you should do that. I was like, aye? I was like, aye. Wait, what name are we going to go for? He was like, I'll have a look, I'll come up with some designs and different names and we'll see what we've got. So I did the same, I came up with designs and different names, and we got the Carpy Cogs one, and it looked absolutely perfect. And I sent it to Keen, I sent it to another team member, and they were like, yeah, go for it. So we stuck with the name, and that's how Carpy Cogs came along.
So like, do you ever think like would you ever like want to start like your own like business or company like based around this type of thing, like Carpy Cogs and stuff?
What do you mean on starting my own business?
Or like, do you think it's going to expand into something like successful, like, obviously I guess it's kind of like what you said before, but like...
So yeah, we are hoping that'll happen. Obviously with being cold at the minute, we are struggling to record, and especially when like members aren't coming out fishing.
Like non-employees, but...
When team members are refusing to come out fishing because it's too cold, they're just wusses. I've fished, the worst I've fished in on a night time was -5. Inside of me baby looked like a Rolls Royce Ghost. Condensation just completely froze up inside. Absolute nightmare. But I'll still go out in it, you know. Obviously with the YouTube channel, where this video will also be going, it's there for newbies and people who've been fishing to find out more stuff, find out what we're about, see what fishing up north's like. Obviously down south fishing, so much better than up here. Got so much bigger fish. I think the biggest in here is 25.8. Wait, that's what it came out as last. 25 pound 8 ounce. So by this time next year, it could be at least a 30. Who knows? But we are hoping we'll be quite successful. I've got the hiccups. If not, we're not going to give up. We'll keep putting the effort in. And as I was saying before, we are looking at expanding the team down south as well as up north. Yeah, when you join the team, you will get your free snood. No one told you that. The other lads haven't agreed on that. Obviously, I'm one of the main ones in charge, so I can say what goes. We are looking at team clothing, which is going to be more expensive, which I don't want to go into finance details on here, but hopefully, fingers crossed, should work out for.
Weather-wise, would you say cold fishing is better than fishing in the warm?
Nah.
Nah.
Hot weather, warm weather, summer is perfect for the carp because they're on the feed, they're on the prowl, you know. Winter, it's really hard. You're better using single hook baits, small single hook baits in the winter because they're not feeding much. They don't really want to move around. Spring, when they start spawning, you get a week or two beforehand where they do feed, and then it'll go dead for a few weeks, and then it'll pick up again. That's when we roll into the summer.
What would you say is the size that you would need to like get off a fish for, like to take it home and stuff? What would you consider as a decent enough size?
So with that, unfortunately with carp, you can't take them home. It's just frowned upon. You do get poachers that come out and like to try and take them, but if you get caught, you're looking at getting prosecuted.
Is there any ponds, lakes nearby that's free, that would, for a beginner that probably doesn't want to pay to have a fishing license, a rod license?
There is one, but I wouldn't recommend it at all. That is just a no-go zone, especially if you're a kid. Obviously around that area you get a lot of problem people. I'm not going to say the place, but there are a lot of problem people, and I don't want to be reliable and responsible for telling you to go there and something to happen to you, like it nearly happened to me. I'm 21 year old, you know, and it was really bad that night, but yeah, we won't get into that.
Obviously, I know if you can't answer this one, it's fine, but like, is there anywhere for obviously people that might see this from like down south, is there anywhere like further down from here that you would recommend, if there is?
Yeah, you've got Ladywood Lakes in Leeds. That's a good fishery. I'm trying to think of different fisheries down there, because I haven't been to any personally, but I have heard about a few. The canals, fish the canals down in London and Stoke, get some good carp out. I think the River Trent has got some carp in, but obviously I don't know what it's like there. If it's a fishery, you pay there to fish. If it's a club water or syndicate, you've got to be members.
Whenever you obviously go to fish somewhere new, do you do your research on it, or do you just sometimes go down and hope for the best and hope that it's good?
Obviously I'll do research to see what it's like, see what fish are in there. If I'm not too sure, and I'll get down on the bank and there's other lads on, I'll ask them and see what's best. And if there's no one, I'm on my own. Best thing to do is lead about. Just tie a lead onto your rod, cast it out, and feel the bottom of the lead. So if it's hard to pull through, it's probably weedy or silty. If it just bounces across the bottom, be a gravel.
What would you say is the rarest fish that you've caught?
My rarest fish I've caught? None.
Okay, so most common is
Most common fish caught would be either a common carp or a mirror carp.